You didn't sign up for this. Nobody does. You didn't wake up one morning and ask God for the pain that found you. You didn't pray for the loss, the betrayal, the silence, the waiting, the confusion, the nights that had no end. You didn't choose any of it. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still showing up, even on the days when showing up costs you everything you have left. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, in one of those quiet moments when the noise finally stops and it's just you and God and the weight of everything you've been carrying, you asked him the question that has been sitting in your chest for longer than you want to admit. Why me? Stay with me, because the answer to that question is not what you think it is. And when you hear it, really hear it, it is going to change the way you see everything you have been through. Here is what nobody tells you about pain. Not all pain is the same. There is the pain that comes from poor choices, the pain that comes from other people's decisions, the pain that lives in a broken world. But then there is a different kind of pain altogether, a specific kind, a selected kind, the kind that visits women who are being prepared for something. And the difference between those two kinds of pain is this: one breaks you down and leaves you there. The other breaks you down and builds you into something the world has never seen before. The question is never just, why is this happening? The real question is, what kind of pain is this? Because if you look honestly at your life, at the depth of what you have survived, at the things that should have finished you but didn't, you will start to see a pattern that has nothing to do with bad luck and everything to do with divine selection. There was a man in the New Testament named Paul. Before he became one of the most powerful voices in all of Christian history, he was a man who suffered in ways most of us will never experience. He was beaten, imprisoned, shipwrecked, abandoned by people he loved, and left for dead more than once. If you read his story in the book of Acts, you will find a man whose life looked, from the outside, like one long series of disasters. And yet, from a prison cell, cold, chained, and alone, he wrote these words: "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." 2 Corinthians 4:17. Light and momentary. A man writing from prison called his suffering light and momentary, not because it wasn't real, not because it didn't hurt, but because he had seen what it was producing. And what it was producing was so far beyond the pain that the pain itself became almost incomparable. Your pain is producing something. You just can't see it yet. Now let's talk about a man whose story might be one of the most misunderstood in all of Scripture. His name was Job. Job was a good man, by every measure a righteous, faithful, generous man who loved God and lived with integrity. He had a family, a home, a life he had built with care. And then one day, everything collapsed. He lost his children, he lost his wealth, he lost his health, he lost it all in what felt like a moment. And the people closest to him, including his own wife, told him to just give up on God. But here is what most people miss when they read Job's story. The book opens not on earth, but in heaven. And in that heavenly scene, there is a conversation between God and the enemy. And in that conversation, God does something that should stop you completely. He points to Job first. Not the enemy, God. God is the one who says, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him." Think about what that means. The enemy didn't find Job by accident. God presented him. God essentially said, if you want to see what real faith looks like, look at this man. Look at what I have built in him. Job's suffering wasn't a sign that God had forgotten him. It was a sign that God had noticed him. It was a sign that God trusted him with something the average person could not carry. And here is the part that will sit with you long after this video ends. The enemy can only touch what God allows, which means every single thing that has come against you, every loss, every betrayal, every closed door, every silent night, passed through the hands of God before it ever reached you. He did not send it to destroy you. He permitted it because He knew you could carry it. He permitted it because He knew what it would produce in you. He permitted it because on the other side of it is a version of you that the world desperately needs. Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. Job 1:8. God said that about Job, and I want you to sit with the possibility, just for a moment, that He has said something like that about you too. There is a specific kind of woman God chooses for a specific kind of pain. She is not the loudest woman in the room. She is not the one who has it all figured out. She is not the one whose life looks perfect from the outside. She is the one who keeps going when going makes no sense. She is the one who prays through tears she doesn't understand. She is the one who chooses faith, not because everything is fine, but because something deep inside her refuses to let go of God, even when she has every reason to do so. That woman is not chosen for pain because God is cruel. She is chosen because God is strategic. Because the woman who survives what she has survived carries something in her that cannot be manufactured, cannot be taught in a classroom, cannot be imitated by someone who has never been through it. She carries an authority that only comes from the fire, a compassion that only comes from the wound, a faith that only comes from the wilderness. And the world needs what she carries. The broken women coming behind her need what she carries. The daughters she will raise need what she carries. The people she will one day speak, lead, counsel, love, and restore, they need what is being forged in her right now, in this very season she is desperate to escape. And even Job himself, in the middle of the darkest chapter of his life, before the restoration came, before anything looked different from the outside, said this, "But He knows the way that I take. When He has tested me, I will come forth as gold." Job 23:10. Not maybe, not if I survive, I will come forth as gold. That is not the language of a man who has given up. That is the language of a man who has looked at his suffering and decided to trust the refiner more than he trusts the fire. Now I want to talk about something that doesn't get said enough in faith spaces. Trusting God with your pain does not mean pretending the pain isn't real. It does not mean smiling through devastation and calling it faith. It does not mean minimizing what you have been through or rushing yourself toward healing before you are ready. It means something much harder and much more honest than that. It means letting God into the actual place where it hurts, not the cleaned up version, not the version you show at church or post about online, the real version, the version that is still raw and unresolved and sometimes angry and sometimes so tired it can barely form a prayer. Because God is not looking for your performance, He is looking for your surrender. And surrender doesn't look like having it together. Surrender looks like falling apart in the right direction, toward Him instead of away from Him. There was a king in the Bible named David. Before he was a king, he was a shepherd boy, the youngest of 8 brothers, overlooked by his own father, not even brought into the room when the prophet came to anoint the next king of Israel. He spent years running from enemies, hiding in caves, betrayed by people he trusted, and carrying a crown that felt more like a burden than a blessing. And through all of it, he wrote some of the most honest, raw, and painful prayers ever recorded. He wrote an entire book of them. We call it Psalms. And in one of his darkest moments, he wrote, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from my cries of anguish?" Psalm 22, verse 1. That is not the prayer of a man with perfect faith. That is the prayer of a man in real pain, bringing that pain honestly to a God he still believed in despite everything. And God called him a man after his own heart,
Not in spite of those prayers, but perhaps because of them. Because there is something God honors about a woman or a man who refuses to pretend with him. Bring him the real thing, the unfiltered, unpolished, unresolved, real thing. That is where he does his best work. So why does God trust you with this much pain? Because he knows your capacity. He knows what you are made of better than you do. He knows that what looks like too much from where you're standing is exactly enough to produce what he is building in you. He does not give more than you can bear, not because the load is always light, but because he is always with you under the weight of it. Because he is preparing you for a purpose that requires this exact kind of depth. The woman who has only ever known comfort can comfort others from comfort. But the woman who has walked through the fire can reach into the fire for someone else without being afraid. And that is a completely different kind of ministry, a completely different kind of impact, a completely different kind of love. Because pain is one of the fastest ways to kill the parts of you that were never meant to survive the journey. The pride, the self-sufficiency, the need for control, the illusion that you can do this alone. Pain strips away everything that was never supposed to come with you into the next season. And what is left after the stripping, that is the real you, the unshakable you, the you that God has been working toward this entire time. Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance produces character, and character produces hope. Romans 5:3-4. Suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance produces character. Character produces hope. That is not a motivational quote. That is a divine process, and you are in the middle of it right now. So let me close with this. If you are carrying something heavy right now, if the pain has been so long and so deep that you have started to wonder whether God sees you, whether he cares, whether any of this means anything at all, I want you to hear this clearly. He sees you. He has always seen you. And the very fact that you are still here, still standing, still believing, still watching this video looking for a reason to hold on, is proof that what he placed inside you is stronger than everything that has come against you. You were not given this pain because you are weak. You were given it because he knows you are strong enough to let it transform you, because he trusts you with the weight of it. Because on the other side of what you are carrying is a calling, a freedom, a wholeness, and a testimony that is going to reach people you haven't even met yet. The pain is not the end of your story, it is the making of it. Don't you dare give up now, not when you are this close to becoming everything God saw when he chose you for this. Drop in the comments, "He trusted me with this for a reason," if this message found you exactly where you needed it today. And if someone you know is in the middle of their own fire right now, share this with them. Sometimes all a person needs is to know that the fire has a purpose. God bless you. Just believe.